So good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming. I know first talks on Sunday are not usually well attended, so thank you everyone who did come. My name is Andrew Shumate. I'm giving a talk, Building the Poison Apple Pie. It's a basically remote wireless or pen testing platform. Nothing really spectacular, but I like getting ideas from conferences and then feeding those ideas that I get back to help the kind of enforce the feedback loop. About me, I was in the Navy for 20 years. I spent 15 years doing aviation electronics, 5 years doing computer network defense as a CTN. And then I retired. I now work as a ISMS consultant for Pivot Point Security, a small firm in New Jersey. Geek, pirate, lover of puzzles and technology. So there's this song. There will be a lot of Disney references in here because I'm a big fan of Disney and Disney Imagineering. They're really great at taking ideas and turning them into these huge things that we see. And it all starts with one little spark. And if you want, who knows what an earworm is? It's a song that gets stuck in your head. Yeah, go Google Figment, One Little Spark. It's a little song with Eric Idle. Listen to it, it'll be stuck in your head for a while. So a lot of ideas start with that one spark of imagination or an idea that you hear. And mine started last year at BSides DC, and a little bit before that. I've always been a fan of covert testing boxes, things like that, like the SparkCast, just small covert things you can leave on a network, very cheap, somewhat disposable. Last year, I'm here at BSides DC, and Gither gave the talk about the range box and running host APD on a Raspberry Pi as a way to test, breaking web and things like that. That's okay, cool. What else can you do? Connect to the Raspberry Pi remotely. Then, Pony Express produced a video, Jason E. Street, Evil Briefcase versus Boston. If anybody's seen that, Jason Street's walking around Boston, with his briefcase full of Raspberry Pis and a Proxmark, doing his stuff. And at the end of the video, it shows he's attacking a wireless network, and Pony Express's product detects the attack. The goons come out to the lobby and rein him in because his head's down in a briefcase attached to his testing devices. Then, about the same day that I see the Jason Street video, Uri over at Red Team's blog posted he was looking for a small backpack for covert testing. And that kind of sealed the deal for me. I was like, what can I do with a small, covert, remotely accessible platform? So about half an hour after he tweeted this, I ran around my office, grabbed a bunch of stuff, and tweeted that. So that's probably a lot more than I usually use. It's the Raspberry Pi B2, TP-Link card, RTL SDR dongle, and an Ubertooth. And it's all powered by a Anker 64,000 amp hour battery pack, which gives it about a day and a half runtime. So I'm going to tempt fate with the demo gods early. So I have the device up and running in here, and you give it an innocuous name, in my case, HP Jet Direct, and I'm going to have to yes, I know. And we'll see if the demo gods are happy. They probably will not be because it's not. Okay, so. So if the demo gods have been happy, which the reason for that I think is I'm using a small EDI Max. There we go. It's happier now. So that is the biggest limitation, is the EDI Max wireless dongles, which is this little tiny thing here, don't have a lot of power. So if you wanted longer range, you'd want to use the TP-Link high power. Make sure that, okay. And so, let's see, yeah. So that's going to fail until it actually negotiates. So essentially, decided to take all this, put it together into the wireless testing platform. Okay. So while the demo gods are angry at me, we'll come back. And I had a few build requirements on this. I wanted something portable, something that literally I can fit this in my back pocket, small backpack, non-detectable. I wanted it to be remote. I don't want to be attached to it because of use cases I'll get into in a minute. I want it to be non-attributable. I don't want, fancy hardware that people know, like a Pwn plug or a Pony Express, that people know are a pen testing tool. I want it to be able to be broken down. I want it modular. So using the Raspberry Pi, you've got 4 USB ports, so you can add anything you want to it. And I want it to be cheap. If you are in the business of pen testing, margins are an important thing. And just because you charge a lot to your clients for services doesn't mean you need to pay a lot for the tools that you use. So, let's look at some different tools that are available. Kali NetHunter is portable. It runs on a Nexus, but you have to buy the hardware. And unless you're using the cellular connection, you have to be attached to the device. Again, that's not what I wanted. Pwn plug, easy to use, it's expensive, and it's not portable. It's got to be on mains power to work. And then the Raspberry Pi. It's cheap, portable, you're detached from it, but it takes time and effort to put it together and build it, which I'll talk about that in a minute. So, again, talking about what are your use cases. Aside from your standard attacking a wireless network, sniffing wireless networks, things like that, one of the use cases that I looked at was gauging incident response. If you're attacking a company's wireless networks and they say they have wireless incident response, how do you gauge that? And again, I'll go to the trope from a movie. Has anybody seen The Real McCoy with Kim Basinger? The Real McCoy with Kim Basinger? It's a heist film, and one of the tropes in it is they need to measure the response time of the police showing up at the bank they're getting ready to rob. So they put a remote control car in the bottom of an ashtray, drive it around the lobby, set off the alarm, time how long the police take. So similar thing with this. You put this in the lobby of a building somewhere, you fire it up, you wait and see how long it takes for the security goons to come out. And again, if it's cheap, you get an overzealous security goon that smashes it, you're out $30, $40. Another use case that I thought about today while watching people do the wireless CTF and the Fox Hunt. So HackRF costs, $300+? And it's one device, you're running around trying to measure signal strength. What if you took a half dozen of these, put them around in your area with the $20 RTL SDR dongles, and then had them all report back to you on signal strength readings? There's already open source software out there that will take all of that, correlate it, and help you do the triangulation to locate what you're looking for. So that's another use case that I came up with just at this con, looking at how people are trying to execute the wireless CTF. So looking into the future of other things to do it, attach a DIY MC catcher on it using the OpenBC firmware, modified Motorola devices. Adding cellular connectivity so I can leave it in place longer, connect to it remotely so I can do this from my house, and then using a microcontroller for sweep wake times. The microcontroller does have the downside of if you want a LUX encrypted partition on your device to protect information, you can't do that unless you're doing auto login, which is not really a good idea because the device wakes up, you need to be able to put in the credentials. So the sleep wake is slightly problematic, but it depends on what data you're storing on the device. So let's try the demo again. Nope. HP Jet Direct. Again, as you know, gave it something innocuous that you're likely to see in any business or corporate environment. Yeah. So apparently, my sacrifice to the demo gods was not sufficient. So ooh, I should have recorded that last night. So I'm sorry I don't have the demo. It was basically simply connecting to it. I had hoped to have it in the FirePod over there, fire up a few scans. So that's my simple feedback loop for ideas that I get from coming to the conferences and trying to feed ideas back into the community. You know, the people up here that thank our Red Team's blog, Gither, Dave Conroy, who created the module for EDI Max. Kali won't natively run host APD using an EDI Max card. So Dave Conroy put together a nice how-to and a driver that will work. And then, of course, Jason Street and Pony Express for kind of the inspiration of how to do this, put it together. So actually building the box is fairly simple. Raspberry Pi 2.0, grab a Kali image, put it on the SD card, go get Dave Conroy's EDI Max host APD driver and put it on. From there, connect and use it as you will. Like I said, if you're into the wireless CTF Fox hunts, it's a great thing. You get a half dozen of these and put the $20 dongles on it and start having them all report back as a wireless mesh to measure signal strength. It'll help you speed up your Fox hunts. And again, having a way to wirelessly attack a network, if security goons do come out, you're sitting 20 feet away from it, completely detached and unattributable. They run off with the device and you walk away. So thank you for coming to my short talk. You all get an early lunch because the demo gods are not pleased. And I will take any questions.
Have you tried to run it against range box and see how long it beats the 5-minute?
So yeah, I did. The range box works really well. And again, I had to modify it because at the time I had an A and an EDI Max, and it can do the 5-minute. It takes a little bit of practice, but it works after a little while. Any others? All right. Thank you.